Alright, Warriors fans, here's some exciting news that could shake things up for the upcoming season. One familiar face from Golden State, someone who's already proven his worth on the court and in the locker room, is reportedly interested in coming back to the team. And the kicker is he's willing to do it on a discounted contract. This is huge, especially considering the Warriors' current salary cap situation. We all know that Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, often called the core trio, are consuming a massive chunk of the cap, over 75% in fact, which limits the team's flexibility in free agency. So bringing back a key role player at a reduced rate could be a game changer. The player in question is Gary Payton II, a defensive stalwart who's often referred to as the glue guy on the Warriors. Gary Payton II's importance to the team goes beyond just numbers. He brings energy, toughness, and a defensive mindset that helps hold the team together during intense moments. He's not just a role player, but someone who sets the tone with his hustle and leadership both on and off the court. It's no surprise that the Warriors and Payton share mutual interest in negotiating a new deal, and league sources suggest that a discount contract is very much on the table. Now, Payton's journey with the Warriors hasn't been without its bumps. Injuries have limited his availability at times, and that has impacted his stats and minutes on the floor. But when he's healthy, he's a difference maker. Last season marked his most consistent run of health since he joined Golden State. And that allowed him to show off his full range of skills, whether it's defensive stops, sneaky steals, or those timely corner threes that space the floor for the Warriors' stars. His stats reflected a solid contribution, averaging around 6.5 points per game and shooting about 32% from beyond the arc. Not elite numbers, but considering his primary role is defense and hustle, those offensive glimpses add an important dimension. What makes this potential reunion even more intriguing is how Payton fits into the Warriors' financial puzzle. Currently, the team's total salary is pushing around $170 million, with the main trio eating up the bulk of that. The Warriors are locked near the luxury tax apron, meaning any additional contracts have to be carefully balanced to avoid huge penalties. Payton's last contract was roughly $9 million per year, but if he's willing to come back for somewhere between $4 to $6 million, that opens up crucial cap space for Golden State to pursue other players. That's a big deal because it leaves roughly $18 to $20 million available to bolster the roster with key free agents or potential re-signings like Jonathan Kuminga. Speaking of Kuminga, his situation is a bit more fluid. As a restricted free agent, the Warriors have some control, but the outcome isn't set in stone. Payton's willingness to come back, however, gives the Warriors some stability as they plan the offseason. He's a fan favorite in the Bay Area, a locker room leader, and someone the players genuinely respect. That kind of continuity and chemistry is invaluable, especially for a team aiming to keep competing at the highest level. The Warriors' recent history shows how important team chemistry is, with their championship runs built on depth, selflessness, and players stepping up in critical moments. Now, while Payton's defense is his calling card, his offense is something that could still improve. His three-point shooting at 32% is decent, but to be truly impactful, he needs to boost that closer to the mid-30s or even higher. When he's knocking down shots consistently, it makes him that much more dangerous and forces opponents to respect him on both ends. That, in turn, creates more space for Curry and Thompson to operate. He's shown flashes of being able to attack the rim with tough finishes and dunks, and that aspect of his game adds another layer to his overall impact. Another interesting aspect of Payton's story is his history with the Warriors. He left the team for a stint with Portland before coming back, with Golden State giving up a couple of second-round draft picks to reacquire him. That move shows how much the franchise values what he brings to the table, not just as a player, but as part of the team culture. Even though he faced some nagging injuries during his time here, this past season was the healthiest he's been in years. And that allowed him to contribute meaningfully, especially during stretches when other key players were sidelined. Warriors are heading into an offseason with a lot of moving parts. The draft is just weeks away, and with free agency looming, every roster decision carries weight. Bringing Payton back at a discounted rate would be a savvy move, allowing the team to maintain defensive intensity while freeing up money to chase other pieces. The key will be balancing the salary cap and luxury tax implications while still putting together a squad capable of contending. With Payton's bird rights, the Warriors have the ability to offer him the most money among their free agents. But whether he stays in Golden State or explores other opportunities remains to be seen. As we watch this situation unfold, it's clear that Payton's return will be about more than just minutes on the floor. He's a guy who brings heart and grit, the kind of player who shows up in big moments and elevates those around him. The Warriors' quest for another championship depends not just on stars, but on the role players who buy into the system and play with relentless effort. Gary Payton II fits that mold perfectly, and if he's willing to come back at a discount, it could be the missing piece that keeps this Warriors team in championship form. While the focus here is on Payton, the offseason also brings updates on other former Warriors. DeMarcus Cousins recently made headlines for all the wrong reasons during his stint playing overseas. In Puerto Rico, Cousins got into a heated altercation with fans that escalated quickly, with players and staff rushing to calm the situation. Standing at 7 feet tall and over 250 pounds, Cousins isn't someone to mess with. But the incident highlights how passionate and volatile some basketball environments can get. Thankfully, security was able to prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. But the drama raises questions about Cousins' future in professional basketball. Back to the Warriors as they prepare for the offseason. The combination of Payton's potential return and Kuminga's uncertain status makes for an intriguing puzzle. The team's projected salary, cap space, and luxury tax considerations all point to a delicate balancing act. But if Payton commits to coming back, it sends a strong message about the team's culture and priorities. It shows a willingness to make sacrifices for the greater good, to keep the chemistry intact, and to build around the core stars while reinforcing key role positions. In the end, this story is about more than contracts and numbers. It's about a player who loves playing for the Warriors, who thrives under Steve Kerr's system, and who embodies the grit and passion that Golden State fans admire. Payton's desire to return on a team-friendly deal, combined with his impact on the court and in the locker room, makes him an invaluable asset. As the offseason unfolds, all eyes will be on how the Warriors manage their roster moves. But having Gary Payton II back in the fold could be the perfect way to start. As the offseason continues to take shape, the Warriors face a series of critical decisions that will define their roster and championship aspirations for the coming year. Gary Payton II's potential return, especially at a discounted rate, is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. The salary cap restrictions weigh heavily on the front office, and with limited space to maneuver, every dollar and every roster spot must be allocated with precision. The Warriors are already pushing close to the luxury tax threshold, a line they have crossed in recent years to maintain their elite core. But each additional move now carries a financial consequence that could impact future flexibility. In this context, Payton's willingness to come back at a reduced salary is not just helpful, it could be vital. The Warriors have the option to use his bird rights, meaning they can exceed the cap to re-sign him to the most favorable contract possible under the circumstances. That kind of cap management savvy is essential for a team with limited room to add talent. Without players like Payton agreeing to take less, the Warriors might struggle to fill out their roster with quality role players who complement their stars. Those supporting players have historically been a huge part of Golden State's success, especially during their championship runs, when depth and chemistry made the difference. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In a twist that has the entire NBA world buzzing, whispers are growing louder around the league that Kevin Durant may be on the verge of a stunning return to the Golden State Warriors. According to several sources close to the situation, there's increasing speculation that Durant is considering a blockbuster 5-year deal that would send him back to the Bay Area, where he captured 2 championships and 2 finals MVPs between 2016 and 2019. While no official confirmation has emerged, the very idea of Durant donning a Warriors jersey again has set off a flurry of reactions across social media and within front offices around the league. Could this be the move that reshapes the power balance in the NBA once more? After a roller coaster stint with the Brooklyn Nets and a brief injury-shadowed tenure with the Phoenix Suns, Durant might be looking for stability and a legitimate shot at another title before the twilight of his career. Golden State, despite recent struggles, still boasts the core of Steph Curry and Draymond Green, and reportedly sees Durant as the missing piece to reignite their dynasty run. Insiders have noted that conversations between Durant's camp and Warriors executives have intensified in recent weeks, with mutual interest apparent on both sides. Though nothing is signed, some league executives are treating the possibility as more than just smoke. Of course, such a move would raise numerous questions. How would Durant's return impact the team's dynamics, especially after his dramatic exit in 2019? Would fans embrace him the same way? And what about Klay Thompson, whose future with the franchise remains uncertain? Still, if the whispers prove true, Kevin Durant returning to Golden State on a mega 5-year contract could be one of the most shocking homecomings in NBA history. Stay tuned, the summer just got a lot more interesting. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news, subscribe to our channel, and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.